AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
It's hump day.
Tigers win.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
12-1. Run rule. 12-1, the run rule Nicholls.
Hump day.
Talk about it here in a sec.
It's hump day.
Ryan Roberts was here in hour 1.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You might be asking, Matt, who's Ryan Roberts?
Hump day.
Matt, who's Ryan Roberts?
Thank you for
It's hump
asking.
day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
He covers the draft for A to Z Sports, and he talked about the LSU guys going to the Combine.
Hump day.
He's most interested in seeing Mansour Delane.
It's hump day.
I found that interesting
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
because he didn't say Alvin Kamara.
Hump day.
Jason Swain was here.
It's hump day.
Tennessee may not have a quarterback.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Joey Aguilar's going to the Combine.
Hump day.
Mark Wise will be here in 12 minutes.
It's hump day.
LSU may not have a basketball coach
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
in a few weeks.
Hump day.
We did an Olympic update,
It's hump day.
and Muse is obsessed with Herman's daughter,
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
but not Herman's son
Hump day.
because he's a sexist.
It's hump day.
That's a fact.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Put that on Twitter, everybody.
Hump day.
At MusoMatthew.
It's hump day.
Tweet him.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Let him know how unacceptable that is.
Hump day.
Okay, we're get going. Here we go. All right, thanks for being here with us. We are going to get to Mark Wise in just a smidge. I don't care to talk LSU basketball like this team. I want to talk about LSU's program and the future possibilities. We'll get to that here in just a little bit. LSU baseball, they run rule Nicholls. John Pearson, a walk-off homer for the Tigers in the bottom of the 8th. They'll run rule the Colonels 12-1. They scored 12 runs on just 8 hits. Well, they did that largely because Nicholls walked 10 LSU hitters, and the Tigers made him pay. Caraway had a grand slam in the bottom of the 1st. John Pearson's 3-run homer there in the 8th. Tigers put up another crooked run number with 2 runs in the 6th, but mostly it was the pitching working into and then out of trouble. But here was Jay Johnson after the game on 5 games in 6 days here for the Tigers.
I'm proud of handling the 5 games and winning the 5 games. I think we did get to see a lot of things. I was happy to get a bunch of guys in the game again today. Yeah. And like how the team's supporting each other. You know, we got guys that have performed well that are kind of right on the cusp of being in there. And they're just doing a good job being ready to do their job. You know, some of our new players that we've brought in have made big contributions in the lineup, and I think there's a lot of strengths to this team, and we just want to keep getting better as we go.
I want to talk about him saying they need to do their job to do their job to do their job.
Said they're doing they did a good job at doing their job.
Did a good job at doing their job. So they did their job. A little redundant. Maybe clip that, come back to it. I don't have time right now. So clip that, put it on a button. Let's come back to it. Ellen Moore.
Ellen Moore.
So good. Muse, you need to do a good job of doing your job.
Good. That's paramount, is to do a good job at doing your job.
Zach York walked 3 times. That's now 7 walks in 5 games. I am so impressed. It's one of the things that we'd heard about York before the season, that is, as much as people are going to talk about his stature and his power, he was a 20 home run guy a year ago at Grand Canyon. It's his plate discipline. He continues to show that. That is now 7 walks in 5 games. He's been hit a couple of times. So this is a guy that is going to be patient at the plate and make you throw it over the plate. And if you do, he can make you pay. So I love to see that. Jake Brown just continues this torrid start. He's 2 for 5. He doubled. He did have an RBI ground out in the second, which made it 6-1. And then he just missed an extra base hit on a sinking liner in the 7th. That went to review. They initially ruled that it was a hit, went to review, ruled it was a great diving catch by the right fielder. But Jake Brown, just an incredible start, which continued in this ball game. A couple things that I might like to see. We did, for the 3rd consecutive game, we did not see Chris Stanfield in left. Jay Johnson said after the game on Monday, Stanfield's still dealing with like swollen hand, and it's just the ability to grip the bat and swing right now that's holding him back. I would really like to see Daniel Harden get a look in left field. I understand that you're about to go see the competition level increase going down to Jacksonville, and this might have been the game to see it. But if we're going to call a spade, Tanner Reeves is a liability in left field. It's just he's not a natural outfielder. And I understand Jay is going to favor offense and wants to get Tanner Reeves' bat in the lineup, and was the sort of the objective today. But man, Reeves was 1 for 4 in the ball game. But Harden is a very natural, fluid outfielder. He will be a much better defensive option than Reeves, and he continues to show ability when he has been getting his opportunities. So we've talked about Harden, super high ceiling guy coming in from the JUCO ranks. Again, he was a 2-sport guy at Catholic, and so he didn't necessarily see his baseball recruitment take off because he wasn't a 12-month baseball guy, but tore it up in JUCO and is a super high ceiling prospect. And might like to see him, if for nothing else, for the glove out in left field coming up this weekend. I'd love to see him get a start and see what he does with 4 or 5 ABs in the game. So maybe something we see. I don't know that Jay's even considering that, but something I would like to see. As far as the pitching in this ballgame, Zach Cowan got the start, and for the 2nd consecutive outing, he struggled. He only went an inning and a third. He needed 34 pitches to get just the 4 outs. And boy, he worked into a bases-loaded jam in the first, but got out of it. Now, he gave up a home run that probably still hasn't landed. It was the 1 run that he allowed. He walked a guy, gave up 3 hits. But as disappointing as it was to see him work into trouble, it's also encouraging that when he got in trouble, he was able to get out of it there in the first, limiting it to just 1 run. And it's something that Ben McDonald mentioned on the broadcast that Jay Johnson sort of emphasizes. Listen, you're going to give up runs. Guys are going to get on base. But if you could prevent the crooked number, if you're going to give up runs, give up 1, that's a win. And that's what Cowan was able to do there in the first. And then Dathy went in there and relieved Cowan, and similarly walked a couple of guys in the bottom of the second and was able to get out. Or they Cowan put a couple guys on in the second, and Dathy was able to get out of it. So, what other notes did I have? Oh, this obviously most notable is Reagan Ricken. So Reagan Ricken made his debut, and for all the struggles that LSU's pitchers had, we saw Zion Theophilus also pitch. He went an inning and a third. He walked 3. Santiago Garcia, a little bit of a bounce back from a rough outing over the weekend. He walked 2 but struck out 2. He faced 4 hitters in the 5th. So he pitched just the 1 inning, but again, did have 2 strikeouts. Ricken got the final 9 outs of the ball game for LSU. He was 3 innings, and he faced 1 over the minimum. He struck out 2. He didn't walk anybody, didn't give up a hit. He hit 1 batter. So he faced 10 hitters. I mean, he got 9 outs, faced 10 hitters. The only guy that got on base against him was a hit by pitch. So nice to see a young guy get in there in his debut and pump strikes. And Jay Johnson talked about Ricken after the game.
It was just a matter of when and the right timing. And we actually, in my mind, I wanted to reverse engineer this game. We actually did this a couple times last year with William Schmidt, where we would kind of match up the first part of the game and then turn it over to him. And it worked out perfectly. And, I was hoping I'm glad we got the run rule for sure, but he would have gone out for the 9th too, because his pitch count is built up like a starter. But 3 innings, 2 strikeouts, no hits, 38 pitches, no walks. You love to see that.
That is a beautiful line. Now, and when you go out and deliver that line, you're going to get another opportunity. So 38 pitches, I don't know that you would expect to see Ricken on Friday, but could you see him come back at some opportunity on Sunday? I would love to see how that looks. Give him an opportunity to take the ball on the weekend and see if he can replicate this away from Alex Box Stadium. So really nice debut for Reagan Ricken. Tigers, they run rule Nicholls 12-1, third time in 5 games that they've run ruled their opponent as the offense just keeps on slugging away. All right, it's after further review. We are brought to you by River Parish Contractors, rpcontractors.com, rpcontractors.com. They're in reserve. I'm telling you, I went down about a month ago, and it's such an impressive facility, and it's one of the things that the guys at River Parish Contractors told me then, and that I will impress upon you, is go visit their shop. It is a state-of-the-art shop, and they're an hour from everywhere. rpcontractors.com, rpcontractors.com. And what I love, too, is when you call over to River Parish Contractors, you're going to talk to someone local, and they're great dudes. If it's Ronnie or Chad or Luke or Trey or Josh or Darren or Drew, just awesome people at River Parish Contractors. And if it's, listen, they've done amazing work for so many giant companies. If it's BASF for Shell or Exxon or Marathon, if you need someone to bid your job and you're not currently working with River Parish Contractors, you need to. And also, you need to be aware, as we all know, you get hired if you have an exemplary safety record, and you keep getting hired if you do awesome work, and that's River Parish Contractors. They scored a 99 on a Fortune 500 company safe audit. It's River Parish Contractors. Go see their shop. rpcontractors.com, rpcontractors.com, rpcontractors.com. All right, it's after further review. We're not going to break. Come back. We're going to welcome Mark Wise onto the show from he's ESPN college basketball analyst. And I'm not super eager to talk about LSU's loss to Texas or the game this weekend against Alabama. I'm more to talk about the program, the perception of it, the state of it, and who they might be able to attract, Matt McMahon's future, all that sort of stuff. We'll do that when we come back here at AFR.
After further review.
Just playing something, y'all. How about this day? 77 degrees. It's down to 75 right now. Cloudy and 75. It's a beautiful day, man. A beautiful spring day in February. Are we going to get another cold snap? Probably. Usually happens. But you know what? I'm going to enjoy the mess out of wearing short sleeves on February the 18th. And you should as well. And you should go to Clegg's. And you should buy flowers and plants and trees and shrubs. And you should go put your hands in the dirt. I'm going to tell you something else that happened. A couple weeks ago with that freeze, killed a lot of people's plants. A lot of plants, a lot of flowers. They look smushed now, don't they? You see them? If they're not coming back to life, a couple of ideas. Number one, take pictures, go to Clegg's, ask their horticulturist what they recommend. And then also, if you need to get something new, great. Locally sourced, locally grown, been local for 60 years. It's Clegg's Nursery.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Tomba with the rebound. Again with 4 seconds. Reese throws ahead to McKinnon. McKinnon want to go in for the layup. Scores at the buzzer, and Texas will hold on to win. The final score, Texas holds on 88-85.
I'm disappointed with this road trip, but we played much better in both games. The competitive spirit was there. The fight was there. We just got to find a way to execute a little better, whether that's getting them one more defensive rebound, one less bad foul. It's a possession game, and we got to find ways to get better these next couple of days going into Alabama.
Matt McMahon, after the Tigers lose to Texas, they fall to 2-11. They're playing out the string here. The big question is what's ahead for the future of the LSU men's basketball program. Mark Wise, ESPN college basketball analyst, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Hey, Mark, always appreciate it. How are you?
I'm good, Matt. I hope you're enjoying the nightly hoops that we have going right now.
Honestly, Mark, it's hard to in Baton Rouge right now, man. Just to be completely candid with you, you've had this team a little bit this year. What's your impressions of what's gone so wrong for this team?
Well, I think any discussion has to be centered around the injuries, does it not? I'm not making excuses for anybody, but the most misused term in athletics in this day and age, in my opinion, is next man up. Because if the next man up was as good as the player he's replacing, you wouldn't be the next man up. I think when I looked at, I had their first game of the SEC season at Texas A&M. That was the day after Thomas got hurt. And then I had them last week at Tennessee. I see the same fight. I see the same spirit that Matt McMahon talked about in that press conference. I think I know when a team has tuned out the coaching staff. I don't see that. So when you ask me what went wrong, I just don't think people understand how good Thomas was. Jalen Reed going out again for the second straight season. But when you talk about Thomas, not only is the guy that leads them in scoring, but had 104 assists in only 16 games. He's a difference maker. So it's not just losing any point guard. So I knew that LSU had to upgrade their talent from a year ago, and they did that. But my goodness, have they had some bad luck.
There's no doubt about Thomas. He was the crown jewel of their class, of their portal class. He's their best player, and anybody that loses their best player, you're going to regress. Period. Not even a discussion. Question: should they be 2-11 in the league? If they, I would ask you a total hypothetical. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You had something else you wanted to add, please.
Yeah. What I was going to say is, do you know what the difference is between being ranked 6th in the country and 26th? One possession. And 26th to 46th, one possession. So let's say, and I understand what you're asking me, but give LSU 2 possessions, even with the injuries, even with the bad luck. Give them 2 possessions, say the A&M game that I did, and the Kentucky Miracle that, was just such a heartbreaker. And they're sitting at 4-9. Wouldn't we have a different conversation about how they're able to achieve in spite of the injuries?
Yeah, I could they had a double-digit lead against Arkansas as well on the road that they blew. There have been a few opportunities out there, to your point, and you're right, the A&M game and the Kentucky game are the ones that we've talked about here. I'd throw in the Arkansas one as well. There's also some that are almost inexcusable, like losing at home to Mississippi State when you absolutely had to have it. Those are the ones that you look at and you go, man, even without DJ Thomas, that's the kind of game you have to win. So, I'm asking you a difficult question here, but the question everyone's having here is, if LSU should retain Matt McMahon. And I don't know that you want to answer that question specifically, but maybe the better question is, if you think Matt McMahon is the right guy for this job to be able to get this program back into the NCAA tournament consistently.
Again, Matt, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. He knew a year ago that he had to upgrade the talent. And I think any discussion about a coach, and this is where we get into the mud, but any discussion about the coach has to also involve rev share and NIL. And as much as I hate to admit it, in the power conferences, I think there's pretty much, for the most part, I know there'll be some exceptions, but I think there are parallel lines between the teams that spend and the teams that win. We have baseball. Baseball is the same. College basketball right now has baseball because of the no salary cap. Everybody wants to be the Dodgers, right? So I think that has to be part of that conversation. I just think that he's done what he was supposed to do from a year ago. If I didn't see that, I think I would have a different opinion. But the talent is much. I mean, look at the portal class that they brought in: Thomas McKinnon, Sutton, Nwoko. I mean, these are all double-figure scorers. Now put Jalen Reed in that mix. Bring Thomas back. Tell me what kind of team you have. A team that was 12-1. Was their non-conference schedule sexy? No. but they have a quad one win over SMU.
It's a fascinating what if, Mark, and Verge Osbury is going to have a very interesting decision to make because here's the other, and you're 100% right. You have to have the buy-in to be able to upgrade the roster. And I think the big question people are going to have here is if you run it back again next year after the financial investment they made in this roster, and they're sitting here at 2-11, will there be enough interest to make that type of financial investment again next year? And I don't know that the answer.
Yeah, that's a great question. How would you grade what LSU did with their dollars?
I thought they'd be a tournament team, which is why it's perplexing to see them at 2-11. And
I'm right there with you, but you can't just say, well, in spite of these two injuries, I did the Tennessee game without McKinnon, and they're 5 points down with 6 minutes to go, 7 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Would you rather have in that game? Which was a better story? The way LSU was able to compete and stay in that game, or Tennessee not playing very well. Everybody has their own paradigm.
Sure.
So it's the same. It's no different than the Texas game. Texas gets way up. LSU fights back. They could have rolled over. So again, I just don't see how you can evaluate this particular season. I get it. We're in a wins business. I get that part of it. But how can you evaluate how they spent their money when the money they spent is on the bench?
Yeah. Mark Wise is with us, ESPN college basketball analyst. I want to ask you about the league in just a second, but one more on this topic. Hypothetically, if LSU does move on from Matt McMahon, what kind of interest realistically would they have in this job?
Tell me how many dollars they're spending.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt, that's the bottom line. That's what the agent of any potential next coach, that is going to be question number one.
Man, it's Verge Osbury's got a really tough decision on his hands because I think to re-engage this fan base, I think the fan base has moved on and they want to change. But your point is right. And I just don't know that you're going to get that financial commitment and engagement if they run it back, which means you're setting a coach up to fail, effectively.
Well, what you're doing is you're letting him go for bad luck.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
It's going to be really interesting to watch throughout this offseason. They're going to play out the string, and they're not going to go to the tournament. We all understand that, but it's going to be interesting to see what Verge Osbury elects to do there on the bench. Mark, the last year the storyline in the SEC, of course, was it was the deepest we'd ever seen in the league. 14 teams go to the tournament. They're not going to get 14 in this year. How much do you think I don't know that we'll ever see that again, but how much and to what degree of a variance is there from what the league was a year ago to what you've seen this year calling games?
Well, I don't think the league. It's no great secret. At the top, the league is not as good.
Sure.
I don't think you have multiple teams that might win it all or go to the Final Four. And when I say multiple, I mean 3 or 4 or 5 teams. But the league, in my opinion, is just as deep. And yes, the league is a victim of their own success last year. Like if I told you, Matt, the league's going to get 10 bids in this year, I think we would say that's a pretty great year for the league.
Oh, yeah.
But when you compare it to last year, it's not quite as good, which is kind of a skewed thing. It's the same thing with the ACC-SEC challenge. If I told you the SEC won 9-7, wouldn't you say that was a great outcome?
Yeah.
But it wasn't as good as 14-2. So, from that standpoint, it's a tricky comparison. But the league in the middle, like from Team 4 to Team 10, is just as deep. I don't think there's any difference. And I think the numbers show that. The thing that has surprised me the most, and I don't know what the current number is, I know going into this week, road teams were winning 45% of the time. To me, that's a crazy number.
That's astonishing because, look, I even know this from an odds maker's perspective. There's no advantage for odds makers like a home court advantage in college basketball because of the proximity to the court, how they can affect the game. Yes, 45% road teams winning is stunning. But this is a league that, a decade ago was a 3-bid league. So yeah, it is remarkable how far it's come. All right, last thing for you, Mark.
I remember those days.
Yeah, me too. Okay, like Florida, Arkansas, you look at the top of the league. Is there a team that you said, what did you say, 4-7 is there's very little difference? What did you say? What was that range? 4 to what?
Yeah, 4-10.
4-10.
I mean, Auburn's sitting there, I don't know, what are they in 10th place, 9th place, something like that?
They're 11th.
Georgia goes to Kentucky. I'm going to give you another example of the injury thing. Georgia had lost 5 out of 6. They had lost their last 2 games. Wilkinson didn't play. Wilkinson is their leading scorer. They go to Kentucky last night and win in Rupp. Wilkinson plays and gets 16 points. They are a different team.
Yeah. What team in the middle, in that group you're talking about, those 6-7 teams in the middle, would you say is a pick poised to make a run with the right draw?
I think Texas is kind of now they've won 5 in a row. I get it. I think Boca Titus makes them a little different from other teams in the middle. I love Buckyball. I've had them like 3 or 4 times. They're a fun watch. I would. If you're asking me for a sleeper team that might get to the second weekend, Texas might be that team.
Okay. It's almost March. It's a fun time of year. It's way more fun when your team hears its name called on Selection Sunday. Tigers will wait at least another year for that. Mark Wise, ESPN college basketball analyst. Always fun. Thank you for the conversation.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
Yep. It's our pleasure. It's After Further Review, brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. That's the website if you want to go learn more about the championship health partner and so much more about everything Our Lady of the Lake offers. Listen, we talk so much about their partnership with LSU, and that's clearly the central component of what we discuss, is how LSU and Our Lady of the Lake are synonymous. But man, I was thinking about it earlier today. I was driving, I heard one of their ads on our station about Lake Urgent Care and the Lake After Hours, and you think no matter what it is you need, if it's heart health or pediatrics or stroke or cancer or urgent care or an after hours clinic, like they serve every bit of whatever you need from your healthcare provider. And they're the championship health partner of LSU Athletics. It's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Really good show so far. Jimmy will be here in 15 minutes for Auto Locks. If you missed anything, AFR On Demand, presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. Ryan Roberts talking Combine, Hour 1. Jason Swain, the latest with Joey Aguilar in Hour 2 is Aguilar's heading to the Combine. May be back at Tennessee, but his backup plan is Combine, just in case if this judge doesn't grant him his eligibility. You just heard Mark Wise as well. So a lot of good stuff there On Demand if you want to catch it. When we come back, there's a new 3-round mock draft from PFF, and it's interesting just because I like to look ahead to see we're focusing so much on number 8, but what might the Saints be targeting in rounds 2 and 3? And what about the LSU guys in those top 100 picks? Talk about it next. AFR.
AFR.
Man, I love telling you about Glow Resources. What an awesome business. What an awesome job Jareth Knockan and his staff do. Their company's grown. Baton Rouge Business Reports lists the top 100 private companies in Baton Rouge. They were on that list last year. Certainly when that list comes out this year, they'll be there again because of the amazing job that they've done. Listen, they've got offices all over now. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Orlando, in Mississippi, Austin, everywhere. And they serve businesses all over the world, quite literally, businesses all over the globe to help you find the right people for whatever job it is that you're trying to fill. But home base is right here in Baton Rouge on Perkins Road, right near Pennington. Gorgeous corporate headquarters. You could always pop in there, meet our friends at Glow Resources face-to-face. They'll do a needs assessment. What job are you looking to fill and on what timeline? They will help you find the most qualified people that will last. These are permanent solutions. It's Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Combine's next week in Indy, after which we'll have a certainly much clearer picture with a lot of mock drafts and who are the risers and fallers. The folks over at PFF took a stab at a new updated 3-round mock draft. And again, mock drafts, we shouldn't make anything of this. It's just an exercise to kind of get a projection of what positions teams might be looking at and where players seem to project around where they project at this point before the Combine. This is interesting. The PFF has the Saints at 8 taking Cassius Howell of Texas A&M. And yeah, I'll keep repeating myself, and it's not at the risk of being repetitive, it's just being consistent. If you're picking 8th overall, draft a position at which you can get the quality of a player that you cannot replicate later in the draft. That's edge rusher, that's left tackle, that's quarterback, that's cornerback. Those are the types of positions I want to take with the 8th pick. You get an edge rusher with a top 10 pick, in. You want to go take Cassius Howell, get a 90.3 PFF overall grade this season at Texas A&M, I would be perfectly fine with that. For what it's worth, they have Mansour Delane 13 to the Rams via the Falcons if it were to go that way. When you go into round 2, notably, the Saints at 42, they have taken Chase Basantis, the offensive guard from Texas A&M. We all know the biggest need the Saints have on the offensive line right now is left guard, right? Eric McCoy's at center. You've drafted your bookend tackles the last 2 years. You still have Cesar Ruiz at right guard. You got to address left guard. I would love to see them do that in veteran free agency and not have another young player on that line of scrimmage. But if Chase Basantis, they feel like, is a plug-and-play guy and they can grab an interior offensive lineman there, I'd be perfectly fine with that. Incidentally, a few picks later, they have A.J. Halsey going 45 to the Baltimore Ravens. Doesn't that feel like that just fits? A.J. Halsey and the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, I understand Harbaugh's not there anymore, and it will feel and look differently for Baltimore. But, man, that would be impressive. With the first pick of round 3, they have the Arizona Cardinals taking Garrett Nussmeier, so 65 overall. I think that's relevant because it doesn't mean Nuss is going to go with the first pick of round 3 to Arizona, but it's relevant because before Senior Bowl, the conversation about Nussmeier had become late day 3 pick. Before the season, he was maybe the first quarterback off the board. Season went the way it did. It was late day 3 pick. Now he goes to the Senior Bowl as the MVP of the game and shines all week. Then he's projected in round 3. So the question starts to become, okay, go to the combine, perform well, answer questions, pass the medical, all that stuff. Does a team that needs a quarterback fall in love with you and you move up into being a top 50 pick? Are you inside the top 2 rounds? Can you move to the back of round 1 potentially? That's the conversation I think if Nuss goes to Indy next week and has a great week, we could start to have. It's why this is a good time to look at this as a benchmark, right? Like a placeholder, say this is where it stands now. Then let's look at it now and then assess after the combine. With the Saints' 3rd pick at 73 overall, they got the Saints taking wide receiver Elijah Surratt from Indiana. That is a big-bodied receiver with strong hands, doesn't necessarily have the blazing speed that you'd love to see, but obviously a very productive college football player, and I think it does illustrate the value that you could find at different points in the draft if a guy like Surratt's sitting there at in round 3. So that's kind of a look at the 3-round mock. So Saints going edge rusher, offensive guard, receiver, 1, 2, 3. And then 3 LSU players coming off the board. Delane in round 1, Halsey round 2, Nussmeier at the top of round 3, according to this board. I'm going to look at the running backs because everyone wants to look at Jeremiah Love at 8 overall. But I think the more we talk about Love and the possibility of going 8 overall, the more you start to look at, okay, where are the other running backs on this board? And they've got Jonah Coleman from Washington, 64 to Seattle. And I think there was one more. Let me make sure I have this right. Here it is. It's the other Notre Dame running back, Jadarian Price at 82 to Minnesota. So it's not to suggest that you're going to get the best running back in the draft in round 2 or 3. It's just to suggest you can get value at running back later in the draft, which, of course, as you know, that's what I would like to see them do. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, with locations all over South Louisiana. You know where to find them, online at ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com, where they'll always offer you free tire repairs, even if you didn't buy the tires at Shaw Bills, just because Mr. Charlie 60 years ago said that's just the right thing to do for people. And it always surprises people when they go into Shaw Bills, yet maybe a leak or something, you need a tire repair, they'll put a patch on it, be like, you're good, good. No charge. That's just what they do at Shaw Bills. They treat you like family, and because they are so exceptional at the customer service aspect, it's literally in their customer bill of rights. They have a customer bill of rights stated on their website and in every store that they feel like you, as a customer walking through the door, things you are entitled to. And when you get treated great, you remember that, and so you come back year after year after year. Shaw Bills has perfected that for 6 decades now. It's Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. Name brand tires at wholesale prices. And, of course, they'll treat you like family. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, we keep you rolling. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Remember, you can always email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Our parlays with the Otter did not hit last night, unfortunately. The long shot parlays did not hit, but another good night for the Otter on the hardwood. So we won with NC State, won with UCF, we won with SMU. Was Georgia? It won with Georgia last night as well, and that was it for last night. So good night, winning night for the Otter on the hardwood. We'll see what he's got for us when we come back to wrap up a busy Hump Day edition of AFR. Don't you move.
AFR.
We were talking earlier about Mike the Tiger because we were watching the game, the baseball game, and they showed video of Mike in his pool. I mean, imagine Mike the Tiger not having a pool. That'd be brutal. What's it like for you being outside in the summer in Louisiana? Pretty brutal. Unless if you have a pool. Because then summers in South Louisiana are awesome. Told you, Eric and I, the house we have now, we've been in almost 10 years. First house we've had that had a pool. I'll never live in another house without a pool. Make your backyard paradise a reality. And it's more affordable than you think. Listen, if you want to build a big, giant, beautiful, custom resort-style pool, outdoor kitchen, they can do that. As ornate, palatial a design as you want. They also have designs that start at $48,000. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. Check it out online. Make your dream a reality. DuplessisBuilders.net.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Lowest prices, never any contracts. Ship your medicine anywhere in the country. Yourgoodwood.com. One thing left to do, find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
You, Otter, what up?
What's going on, Matthew?
Another day, another dollar. Winning night last night again. So congrats on that.
Keep it going.
Let's keep
it going.
There we go. Ring your bell. There you go. We'll ring your bell. All right, what we got? What we're looking at tonight?
All right, let's start off in the SEC, and probably one of the worst luck teams in all of college basketball this year. That's Oklahoma Sooners. So Porter Moser, their coach, was on the hot seat. They made it to the tournament last year. Back on the hot seat this year, and 3-9 in the league, Matt. But man, I mean, double-digit leads, lost to Alabama and Texas. A double buzzer beater at the end of regulation and into overtime in Como against Missouri. A blown lead with less than 25 seconds to go against Arkansas. We go on, but they are playing better. They won at Vanderbilt. They won by double digits Saturday against Georgia. They're getting 11.5 here against Tennessee. That's my favorite bet tonight, taking the Sooners plus a big number against Tennessee.
Okay.
Maryland and Northwestern. Maryland playing better. They kind of laid an egg in Piscataway against Rutgers on Sunday, but these two teams are very, very equal. Northwestern does not deserve to be favored by 7.5 over anybody. We're going to take the Terrapins and Buzz Williams in his first year at College Park. Maryland plus 7.5. Arizona was undefeated. They've lost 2 in a row. Double bounce back against BYU. Remember that game a few Mondays ago where they held on to beat BYU by 3 in Provo. It's 11.5, 12.5. We're going to take BYU plus the double digits. Brandon McKay and his group also on it on our show today. Another one that Randy is on. That's
down to 10.5. That's down to 10.5, by the way, at DraftKings. Are there still 11s out there?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm driving right now. So,
no, that's fine. Just a heads up.
Yeah. But want to check the website.
Yes. The picks go live shortly after 3 p.m. Central every day at LouisianaSports.net. So get them online or on Twitter.
Another one I really didn't have an opinion on, but Randy swayed me. Mississippi State has had a rough year this year. I mean, here's a guy that's been in the tournament the last 2 years, but just hasn't worked out for State, including their third-year player, Hubbard, the all-time Mississippi high school scoring leader. But 4.5 at home against Auburn.
It's 5.5 now.
A little 5.5. That's better.
Even better.
Even better there. We're going to take the Dogs. Need more cowbell. Plus 5.5 against Stephen Pearl. Capital. Got to love that nepotism in Auburn. And then Vandy in Missouri. Vandy in Missouri. This line is just going down and down and down. Maybe a sharp play on Missouri. So be it. Give me Vanderbilt minus a short number here and 2.5 in Columbia against Missouri. I think Vanderbilt, they're one of the last undefeated teams, lost 3 in a row. Now they've bounced back, won 4 out of 5
Vandy's much better than Missouri. We're taking the Commodores minus the 2.5.
By the way, that's back up to 3.5. So if you want to buy it down to 2.5, you can. But it's back up to 3.5 right now at DraftKings. All right, where are you tomorrow?
Gotcha. We are at Snow's Seafood and Steak at Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
All right. Good luck, Otter. Thank you.
All right, good luck.
All right, man. We're brought to you by Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. Of course, Relief Windows, great sponsor of Jimmy and Charlie's show as well. Windows, door siding, they do shutters and blinds too. It's Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. They're the title sponsor of our Monday shows all throughout the year. Call Brandon Holly and the gang. Better yet, go by the showroom on Airline Highway in Prairieville. Going south on Airline, you cross 42, about a quarter mile on the right. You can't miss it. Gorgeous showroom. Go shake some hands, see some people, see their beautiful 3D modeling. It's Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. reliefwindows.com. All right, they'll do it for us here. Muse Pauly, thanks y'all. Have an awesome night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Oh, you're done with work? Oh, good. Awesome. Love that. So what are you going to do? You go home? I mean, LSU doesn't play tonight. Baseball game's already over. You going to watch some NBA? I don't know. I got an idea. How about you detour to Supper Club? Scone, that sounds great. I don't have a reservation. No worries. Tell you every day. But a year ago, they instituted open seating at the bar. So you can pop into Supper Club, which I love to do this. I love to go sit at the bar sometimes and just have dinner, have a cocktail or a glass of wine and eat dinner at the bar. 14 bar stools, 7 bar tables, open seating at the bar, always. So pop on in, have dinner tonight at Supper Club. Or you can take a chance. Maybe you can get a table tonight. See? SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. It is always a great night to get by Supper Club.